I always start these lives with, like, what do you want the world to know today, Taylor? I want you guys to know that possibilities are endless, but it does come down to understanding certain aspects of things. I don't like when people are like, "Well, just believe. Just believe. Just believe." Okay, it's like, "Well, I'm believing now. Now I'm believing. I decided that I'm believing." Believing comes from repetition. And I tell you guys all the time, there's this thing around our body called our electromagnetic field, and that is the thing that we can look into with intuition. It is how we look into light forms, how light is forming around the body. And so when we want to understand a very complex idea like relationship, like why dynamics are or aren't working, it's a variable change. Think of like a recipe. Okay, a recipe, and the recipe says you're going to need 3 eggs, some flour, sugar, and a couple other things to make it whatever we're trying to make. Let's say we're trying to make a cake. There's a specific recipe that you have to have. And you'll notice when people are in a relationship, they have certain qualities. So if we're talking about relationships, or if somebody has a very big career, they have certain qualities of a leader, certain qualities of a husband or wife, certain qualities of a mother or father. People have specific qualities. And we either have those qualities or we don't have them. And we can read all of that in the electromagnetic field. What the field is it creates a space where we are placing our thoughts, our emotions, our actions, and all of these other variables into the field, and then the field is being written and scripted back to us to show us what we are creating. So if all day I'm just like, Taylor, you're not doing enough. Taylor, you're la la la. Taylor, and I'm Taylor, by the way. If I'm telling myself I'm not doing all of these things enough, or I'm not creating to a certain standard, I will get that all mirrored back to me through my electromagnetic body, okay? And so this is why it's so important for us to understand these different ingredients, these different aspects. And a lot of people come up to me and say, well, Taylor, I don't even see that as a potential. And it's hard to see potentials when we don't have that intuitive nudge, but it's whatever your heart is pulling you to do. We are meant to have very big lives, but why would God or the universe or source or the creator give us those big lives if we don't see ourselves as the best? It always comes down to seeing yourself, your self-image, and the idea of self. It always comes back to those ideas. If I don't see myself as the best, how can I withstand any kind of situation where if I build something, think about this, okay? I was thinking about this earlier, so we're all just going to think about this. If I don't see myself as the best and I create something, there's always going to be something wrong with it, right? Because if I'm creating it and I don't think I'm the best, something's going to be wrong with the creation, because I'm going to look at it and see a little piece of myself in the creation. Something about it's not good enough. And I had this growing up, like I had a parent who didn't think that they were good enough, so nothing I ever did was good enough. If I create a building and I just think that I suck and I'm the worst thing ever, and I create a building and I build this thing, I'm going to show everybody. I'm going to say, this thing little right here is wrong. This over here is wrong. I don't really like this part of it. And there's a difference between like, let's upgrade the functionality of something and then like actually liking it. But if I like myself fully and I like all of the attributes and qualities of myself, whatever I build is going to be an amplification of that. This is why you see so many parents nitpicking their kids. I remember once upon a time, there's a girl I grew up with, and her parent would like pay her money for her to get like more skinny or thinner or leaner. Her parent would pay her more money every single week from her chores, or would buy her like the $200 jeans if she just became skinnier. It had nothing to do with the little girl that I was friends with who was getting the money and getting the jeans. It had everything to do with the parent. The parent didn't see themselves as physically attractive, so she placed that onto her daughter, and now her daughter's running the script and amplifying it. So now the daughter doesn't feel enough, okay? Do we see how these patterns work? This is why it's so imperative and important to see yourself as this amazing creator that Source made you into, so that whatever we create, it'll just amplify that rather than amplifying our wounds. That's how majority of the population right now is operating, is out of wounds. And a lot of people, so many people get jealous or have this like comparative energy around people on social media. Well, this person has millions of dollars. Their soul decided to have millions of dollars right now so that they would understand the lessons that would come with it when all of that fell. And so when we look into, like, I can look into, there's going to be 4 lessons that this person needs in a lifetime in order to complete the cycle of understanding what wealth is actually like. So they might have a certain amount of wealth. You can train your mind to like look at this with intuition. But like, let's say somebody has $20 million. Okay. They're in their lifetime, they still have to understand all of the aspects of also being poor. We need the balancing aspects. So in this lifetime, they might be rich for the first 20 years of their life. And then the end of their life, they're not understanding all of the tools and ingredients that would have to be in your electromagnetic field in order to push out something that would be of wealth, or that would create the polarizing balancing situation. Balance has to exist. I'd rather know how I laid every single brick in my wealth, in my family, in my living situation. I'd rather know how I laid every brick than go into a situation where I have all of the stuff, right? I have it all. It looks pretty on the outside. And that's what I had for the longest time, you guys. I talk about it on my podcast. I've had bullets go from my head in apartments. I've been evicted. I've had this car repossessed from me. I've had all of these situations happen so that you guys don't have to go through it. Your testimony, the thing that you came here to give to the earth is the obstacles that you've gone through. Maybe you went through obstacles with your family life and nothing worked. Okay, so that was me. my family, love them, but I had to grow out of that. I had to grow out of my family dynamic because where they are with their understandings and with their belief systems is not going to help propel me into my new stage of life. Now, I can take all of the lessons that I learned from my family and then translate what I do and don't like, but it always comes back to, what do you want to grow? And then growth is going to come with a lot of uncomfortability. So the unknown, the faith, the trusting, the understandings that come with that. So this is why affirmations don't work, and people will be like, hold on just a sec. People will be like, I'm wealthy, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire. Well, it doesn't work because your conscious brain is going, no, you're not. And then it's picking out and showing you every single reason in your reality why you're not a millionaire. And what it is actually trying to show you is that when we lock into our value just at our core, so the things that we bring to this earth that no one else can bring, yes, I said that, no one else can bring the qualities that you have. When we bring that to the table, that's a whole nother light. That's a whole nother spark. And so a lot of the time, your spark, your value, your light is just showing people what is possible through your embodiment. So I'm not going to come on here and talk about anything I don't know nothing about, but I have gone through so many trials and obstacles and testimonies that to this point where I know how to help people on the other end of it so that you don't have to go through any of the things that I had to go through, because it was not a fun time. And I was screaming, crying, and throwing up the whole time. I've had the worst relationships, but there's a big old tractor right here. I've had the worst relationships, and I've had the worst luck in life, in love, in life, just life in general, I guess. I've had the worst luck because I was meant to know every aspect of it. It's not that I'm cursed or that I'm not supposed to have big things. It's actually a highlight. When we go through something tough, it makes us love our creation more. So I had to work for it, which makes it that much more enjoyable. When you see like people online showing off their cars, it's because, or houses or whatever, families, it's because they don't feel that it's special enough. So they have to like outwardly show people, right? If I tell you I'm good at something, like if I went up to an Olympic gymnast and was like, hey, like, tell me what you're good at. They're not going to sit here and be like, I'm good at backflips. We know that they're good at backflips. They're in the Olympics in gymnastics. We know that they're through embodiment, they've shown over and over and over again that they're good at that thing. You don't have to say it. It's just an embodiment. I show up this way. So when people are good at something, they usually don't talk about it. Which means that a lot of people on social media, when they have to outwardly flaunt certain things, it means that they don't have it internally. So they have to show you. And a lot of people that are very successful, you won't know nothing about. You won't know anything about. Because they don't have to have the validation point there. So when it comes to building a life that you actually love, and then you also understand, like, amplifying, like, showing other people is only amplifying just more of it's there's a lot of key components, but with intuition we can look in and all of this stuff. It's actually beginning to rain, so I'm going to let you guys go, but I love you guys so much with my whole heart, and I will be back here hopefully tomorrow with another video. But I love you guys so much, and I have another